Commish, one thing that the NBA does that it feels like not many other leagues do is the teams that get formed in the offseason are just massive. Obviously, this year, Damian Lillard going from Portland to Milwaukee was a huge story. I mean, Lillard has been a story for a couple years now, but is that something that the NBA wants and is cognizant of? Like the Pacers, for instance, they just made a move for Pascal Siakam. Mm-hmm. Like, are those type of teams where there are multiple stars on each team something that the NBA likes, or is, this kind of contract 65 game rule, is that something that also kind of factors into the, hey, if guys do stay with their teams longer, then they do have that potential to, have the escalators in the contracts like we talked about.
And to piggyback on that, LeBron was almost at the Golden State Warriors
Bingo,
just a couple of days ago.
I read that. I have no other knowledge other than I read that there was those discussions. So who knows?
But, it said they don't run that by like LeBron going to the Golden State Warriors. That feels like something.
It only comes to the league office if they actually have a proposed trade. Then we have to approve it. But as I just read the reports, that if owners are talking to each other about possible moves or GMs, absolutely not. And in fact, they're laughing to hear me say this. They don't trust the league office. If they're thinking about something like that, we're the last people they're going to tell until they have to.
Would you approve that trade?
It's interesting. For us, we don't have discretion. If a trade, because I get this question all the time, if a trade is within the rules, it's within the rules. And I don't think you would want, back to my point before about the sort of rule of law around sports, I don't think people would want me sitting here saying, I don't think that's good for the league. The rules are the rules. If we don't like the rules, next time we sit down in collective bargaining, we should change it. But to your question, so
you would approve that?
If it fit under the rules, I would have to. It's not within my discretion.
Well, the Chris Paul
is that a new rule? Because Chris Paul got traded to the Lakers.
All right, I'm going to defend my former boss and mentor, David Stern.
Rest in peace.
So, rest in peace. At that point, David was acting as in essence, owner of New Orleans.
Got it.
Uh-huh. It was an unusual situation there, and he was wearing two hats. And his view, when that trade came to him, he didn't think that trade was in the best interest of the team. Incidentally, when I learned my lesson, there was a period when the league office was running the Clippers, when Donald Sterling was banned from the league. And I brought in a guy named Dick Parsons, and who'd been this former CEO of Time Warner. And I said, Dick, you are now running the Los Angeles Clippers. You're making decisions about basketball, not me. So, and now to Connor's question, we, in successive collective bargaining agreements, have, I think, done a good job incrementally creating more, I would say, parity around the league. And by parity, not to me, it would be fake parity if you sort of played it as if let's just divvy up the players around the league and say every team should get one superstar of this level, one there. To me, I think of it as parity of opportunity, because the great GMs, the great management in this league should have an advantage. And you're seeing that now in small and big markets when you have really good people running teams. And then to your point about someone like Damian Lillard leaving, I mean, of course we want guys to honor contracts. In some cases, behind closed doors, I think teams and players are coming to agreement that it may be time for the player to move on. And so it's a mutual decision. But I also think one of the things we've worked towards, again, over the years through collective bargaining, is shortening contracts and trying to find the right balance. Because remember, in our system, we pay out in the aggregate, call it 50% of the revenue of the league, not a penny less, penny more. And then it's just the question of how that money gets distributed among 450 guys.